All right, 340. Well, hello everyone. It's digital host AJ Wiest welcoming you back to Before the Four. Of course, the live stream where I go through some of 48's top news stories and then some before our 4 o'clock newscast. Wherever you're watching Before the Four this afternoon, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, or the 48 Now live stream, as always, thank you so much for watching and spending just a bit of your Friday afternoon here. Now, we have a new morning anchor here at 48 News, Jonathan Skinner. He will be starting this upcoming Monday, June 16th at 4:30 in the morning. And yesterday I got the chance to speak with him in a little sit-down one-on-one interview for 48 Now. Today I will be playing that interview for you all, and hopefully you all enjoy. Everyone meet Jonathan Skinner. Hello everyone and welcome back to 48 Now. It's digital host AJ Wiest, and today I am joined with a very special guest, WAFF's new morning anchor, Jonathan Skinner. Jonathan, thank you so much for joining today.
What's going on, AJ? Thank you for inviting me to be on your show, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
so I know you just got here, but how are you liking the Rocket City so far?
Oh, it's been great. It's been great so far. I mean, it's a beautiful city. You know, we earlier, actually last year, my wife and I, we came up just to visit because we were living in Birmingham beforehand, because we wanted to go to the Space and Rocket Center. We wanted to go to the Botanical Gardens, and that was all beautiful. And coming back up here, seeing the city, and coming here to the station, it's been a blast so far. So can't complain, man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And I know before you worked at Birmingham, at WBRC, and then I believe you were in Pennsylvania before that.
Yeah. I was at Erie News Now in Erie, Pennsylvania. Beautiful town itself, right off of the Lake Erie, of course. A lot of lake effect snow, so you have to deal with that, but just a lot of fun there. And then, like you mentioned, a lot of fun in Birmingham. We were there for about 4.5 years or so, and love the Magic City. I mean, the people there are amazing, and I'm feeling and sensing sort of that same, friendliness, that same kind of community aspect here in Huntsville so far too. So it's exciting.
Yes, sir. So talk about what first inspired your passion for journalism. Was it always a career you envisioned for yourself?
Yeah, that's actually, a really good question. So my pathway to getting here is a little bit different, I think, from most people in the industry. Everyone has a different path, right? But I always loved, getting that morning newspaper. I'm a little older, AJ. So I used to get the morning newspaper in North Carolina. It was the Fayetteville Observer, where I grew up. And, I was the one who was really pushing my parents to, let's make sure we're paying for a subscription. And I loved reading through the paper. I was a big sports guy, so I loved going to the sports section and reading through that. And so, that sort of always sort of drove my interest sort of in journalism. I always loved, being a sports guy, watching sort of sports television shows and things of that nature. And so I really just had a passion for, journalism, telling stories, and being sort of a part of that. So when I got to Morehouse College, we had a school newspaper that I said, okay, I want to work here and, write for the Maroon Tiger. Started doing that, really advanced. But I'd also say that growing up, I was in church my whole life. So my dad was a pastor. My grandfather was a pastor. And so being a part of that, I always felt a call to ministry. And with that, when I was in school, I decided to major in religion while also, working for the school paper because I loved telling stories. And after graduating from Morehouse, I still wanted to be a part of ministry, so I decided to go to seminary school. And it was about halfway through seminary that I really came to the realization that I felt, God sort of, led me to, that you can be in ministry, you can serve, people, but not necessarily be in a pulpit, right? And so that's what sort of, gave me the freedom to say, okay, I want to go after this journalism thing full time. And I applied to Northwestern Middle School of Journalism up there in Evanston, Chicago area, got in, and that sort of exposed me to the broadcasting side, because I'd always done, writing for, like I said, the school paper and things of that nature, and that really exposed me to that world, and fell in love and said, okay, I think I can do this for the rest of my life. And so, that's how we got started. Got the first job in Erie, Pennsylvania, a weekend anchor, morning reporter as well, and the rest is history. Yeah,
that's right.
Yes, sir.
Very awesome path there. Very unique path.
Yeah, very different.
Sure.
Like I said, everyone has a different path, but that's sort of what it was for me. So.
And I'm with you on the newspapers. I think that retro look to a newspaper is just, it's just unmatched. You can't beat it.
Yeah, absolutely. I picked up a newspaper yesterday here locally, and I was like, wow, feeling that, just sort of just brought me back to like that time where you'd get the people, you had the paper boy who would go out in the morning and throw out the paper and stuff like that. And so, just being able to tell stories, I feel like for me, I just felt more connected to the visual aspect of putting the video and getting the that kind of thing going, and the way that news and journalism has evolved, even in the past 10, 20 years, it's just been amazing to see. So but it does sort of take you back to like feeling that newspaper itself to that field.
The scent of it as well.
It does have a distinct smell.
It does.
It absolutely does. Fresh out the plastic. It has a smell. Yes, sir.
And you mentioned you started as a sports guy. From what I understand, you're a Carolina Panthers fan.
Yes.
What is that all about?
Huge Panthers fan. Yeah. So I root. Basically for all teams from North Carolina, when it comes to college, Tar Heels. Let me not say all teams from North Carolina.
Okay.
I'm a Tar Heel fan for college, but pros, of course, the Panthers, the Hornets, the Hurricanes as well, and then Charlotte FC. I love soccer. So those are the teams I root for specifically. But I also at times root for the New York teams because I was born in New York, right? Mm-hmm. So I root for the Yankees because in North Carolina we didn't have a professional baseball team,
right?
Or MLB team, and so so I follow all of them like pretty closely, And so like for instance the Hurricanes, they've been doing well. They lost in the conference finals, but they had a good season, better than what we expected at the beginning. Panthers, they're coming up, I think.
They are.
So towards the end of the year last year, they started playing really well. Bryce was playing amazing. So I follow those teams very closely. I'm big, like you mentioned, Panthers and North Carolina sports fan. So yeah.
Very cool.
Who are your teams?
I'm an Atlanta sports fan. I'm an Atlanta Falcons fan.
That's right. Okay.
You mentioned Bryce was playing well at the end of the season.
My goodness.
Week 18, he absolutely smoked our defense.
Oh my goodness, bro! I forgot that. Okay, okay. We'll have some conversations here.
Oh, for sure.
Hey, Michael Penix looks great though.
He does.
I think he's going to be really good for you all too. So.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
We'll have to see, but once football season gets here, I'm sure we'll be talking smack.
Oh man, absolutely. Yeah, I love football. When I was in Birmingham, I used to cover high school football, so I'm interested in seeing what that scene is like here in the Huntsville area too. So yeah, excited for that.
Yes, sir. So talk about your family.
Yeah. So I have a beautiful wife who I actually met in college when I was at Morehouse. She's going to Spelman College. So Morehouse is an all-male HBCU.
Yes.
Spelman is an all-women's HBCU in Atlanta. We're basically on the same campus in the Atlanta University Center, joined alongside Clark Atlanta University and Morris Brown as well. And so we both met there. We've been together now for, I think, 14 years or so. We'll be married 9 years this upcoming October. So, we've had an amazing time. We've had 2 beautiful kids since that time as well. An older son who is about 3 and 11 months. He's going to turn 4 in a few weeks. And then a younger son who is about 1.5. I try to make sure I got my months right, but he's about 1.5 or so. And so both, amazing boys, they love each other, so it's been really good, and that's why I'm hearing that there are a lot of great things to do for families here.
Absolutely.
In Huntsville too, so definitely want to check those out as well.
Yeah, for sure. Are they into space at the age?
So part of the reason we went to the Space and Rocket Center is to take them. And our older son, he grasps it a little bit more. So he loves like space, rocket ships, we're trying to get him into, learning his planets, by how they look and everything. So yeah, he's definitely into space. I think, being here, he'll have a little bit more opportunities as well to go back to the Rocket Center again and, learn some more things as well.
Well, very awesome. It sounds like an awesome time here in Huntsville, of course. But Jonathan, what are you most excited about starting your new role here at 48?
Oh man, that's a good question. I think I'm most excited about meeting the people in the community. I think that sort of is what sort of brings me into a place. Getting out, talking to people, seeing what issues they're dealing with, what things they're happy about, things they're proud of, things that they're concerned with for their communities. That's sort of what I feel like news local news specifically, why it plays such an important role still today, because we're able to get out into the community, tell those stories and things that impact you who live here in the Huntsville sort of metro area, or who live in sort of North Alabama. And so I want to make sure that I'm getting out there and really getting in that feedback and meeting people. That's something that helped me when I was in Erie, because I knew no one when I moved to Erie, Pennsylvania. We really didn't know actually anyone in Birmingham until we moved there. And so those are things that sort of connected us to the community and also helped me in my role, whether I was reporting, whether I was anchoring, to provide better content, better stories for the people that were viewing us. So that's really what I'm hoping to do here as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Very well said.
Okay.
And we have our 48 Facebook question of the day. Every day we ask a different question.
Okay.
And today's question was, what was the first concert you attended?
First concert I attended? Oh my goodness. Wow. First concert I attended.
It's a tough one.
Yeah, that is really tough. I think the first concert, there's this thing called like Winter Jam or something like that.
Okay.
It was for like Christian artists. They would go on like these Winter Jam concert series where you have like a band, you might have like a Christian rapper, you might have all these different rock groups or whatever. I think that might be the first concert I attended.
Okay.
That was at the Crown Coliseum in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I think that might be the first concert. But that's like a distant memory. I was like a kid, I think. I'm trying to think, I think either that or some gospel concert I went to when I was a kid, one of those two. But I think I think it was probably one of those. Can I flip the question on you?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What was the first concert you attended?
I went to... Actually, that is a tough question, now that I think about it.
Yeah.
So I went to college in Nashville at Belmont University, and I believe it might have been Mitchell Tenpenny. He is a country singer.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Up in Nashville, at Nashville's Ryman Auditorium.
Okay, wow.
I believe that was I've been to a lot of concerts since then.
Yes, yeah.
I believe that must have been my first concert I went to.
I love that. Speaking of concerts, being here in Huntsville, I know Bonnaroo is coming up. And I'm so excited. I probably won't be able to go this year, but I think next year I'm going to try to go, because I didn't realize it was only like an hour and a half.
It's not far at all.
Yeah,
Manchester,
Tennessee. I did not know it was so close. So I definitely want to check that out next year, though. Go to the festival out there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Well, Jonathan, we're excited to have you on board. Jonathan makes his 48 debut Monday.
Yes, sir.
It's actually my birthday.
Get out of here. Okay, happy birthday. I got to get you a gift or something. No. Just let me know what you want, and I got you. I'm going to set you up.
No need to do that, but we're super excited to have you here.
Yeah.
And if maybe I didn't ask something you'd like to further add, feel free, but thank you so much.
Yeah, no, I think you hit on a lot of great things this afternoon now. Yeah, it's afternoon our time. But yeah, man, I appreciate you taking the time to allow me to be on your show, and had a lot of fun. I know we're going to have a lot more fun on Monday and in the future as well. Hopefully I get to come back in here again.
That's right. We'd love to have you.
All right.
Absolutely.
Sounds good. Thank you, AJ, man. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you.
Yes, and you can give Jonathan a follow on Facebook right now. This is his profile, Jonathan Skinner, WBRC. We are working to get those call letters switched over to WAFF. But yes, give him a follow. He will be making his debut here at 48 on Monday, June 16th. I will not be here. I will be back at home celebrating my birthday, but I'll be back here on Wednesday with another Before the Four. But y'all, that's just about all the time I have for today's Before the Four. But I hope you all have a great weekend. Enjoy tonight's evening newscast. Again, the U.S. Open is taking up our 4 and our 5 o'clock shows, but we'll be back here on air at 6 o'clock. But you can watch a digital stream of our 4 o'clock newscast right here wherever you're watching Before the Four right now. We actually got to go set that up right now, but I hope you all have a great weekend. Stay out of trouble, but have fun. And as always, thank you so much for watching. You all have a great night.